So tell us your name and what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, so my name is Cindie Wolf. I'm a real estate agent with Long Realty, and I've been doing it for 22 years here in Tucson.
And tell us how you got connected with Ben Spells.
So it's kind of interesting because, like a lot of people, I didn't really know about Ben Spells for a long time, even though now I know they've been in business. This is going on the 21st year. But unfortunately, my connection came when my brother's daughter was ill, and I kept seeing this lovely woman around our family. She had blonde curly hair, and so I would see her a lot, and she had a beautiful smile and had a nice aura around her. And I would see her at the hospital, and I would see her at family gatherings. I didn't know who she was, and so the day after my niece passed, I went to my brother's house, and on one of his trees was this really unique bell that was hanging from on a tree. And so I walked into the home and I said, hey, Michael, you have this bell hanging on your tree. And he's like, oh, Jeanette must have brought that. And so from there, we got into the story of Ben Spells and who Jeanette was, and I realized that was the blonde woman with curly hair that I'd been seeing, and I kind of learned the story about Ben Spells through that situation and experience. And I personally went through some things at about the same time and decided I wanted to get involved. And so I set an appointment with Jeanette, and I interviewed to get on the board. And that was almost 8 years ago now. And so I was a board member for 6 years, and that's as long as you can be on the board. So I had to get off the board, but I've just continued to stay engaged with Ben Spells because I think it's incredibly important for our community.
Tell us some of the ways that you still engage with Ben Spells, even though you're not on the board.
Well, first of all, I support them in any way that I can, both financially and just being involved and talking about it. Because number one, kindness is incredibly important in whatever we do. But I'm a real estate agent, and being kind in our transactions, whether it's with the person that you're working with, the client, the person on the other side of the transaction, that is incredibly important. That saying, you get more bees with honey, is so important, and it's just being kind, and people will remember you for that. And so I just think it's important in general. And when I first started on the board, we had these bus tours where we went to different schools where the Kind campus was taking place, and I saw it from the nursery school to kindergarten, first grade, through elementary school, middle school, and even high school, how it was working, the inner workings of it. And that was extremely impactful to me. And I just thought, I need to make sure that I do what I can do to raise money and stay involved. So I currently sponsor the L Tour. In the past, I've sponsored the Celebration of Kindness. I didn't do it this year because I was out of town, but I will continue to do it. And then as part of my closing gifts, I give, a couple years ago, I had state bells made. And I had them made in all these different colors, so it was a special order. And as part of my closing gifts, I give a state bell, in addition to other things, to my clients. And I think it's important because if they're leaving Arizona, it's something that they can take with them. And if they're moving in, I usually give a state bell and a Be Kind sticker, because it gives them an indoctrination to what Ben Spells is, and they'll ask about it, and I can tell them about it or direct them to the website. So I really think it helps get them engaged right as they get here.
Okay. Tell me about, I remember when I first visited the Oro Valley office, and there was a whole display in there. Tell me about that.
So I thought, well, we'll just put a little display up there for agents to see on a regular basis what they can do with Ben Spells and create their own closing gift idea.
What is your favorite way to practice kindness?
Oh, that's a hard question. I guess I would say just whenever you get into a situation where it's not always easy to be kind. So you have to just take a deep breath and think about how you would like to be treated in that situation and do that.